Hey, how's it going? I'm Merkaba18. Today I'm going to be bringing you my last video in the After Effects limited time mode and crisis event. We did a limited time mode explainer. We did one on the Finca Protean, and now we're going to be talking about the Repulsion Harness. Speaking of which, some of you have asked for footage of the in-game Finca event, or Finca Protean. I wasn't able to get video of it because it's completely random to get her to spawn, but after hours and hours and hundreds of attempts, I finally got her to spawn. That's a whole different story, but basically I just want you to know that there is going to be some in-game footage of the Finca Protean, and the only reason I didn't have it up before is because I couldn't get it to spawn. So that's coming soon. Look for that very soon. Now, with the Repulsor Harness, the unlock happens via studies in the limited time mode. Now, the study, this specific one, words are hard, can be unlocked via the vaporized study. Basically, you just have to obliterate 150 Archaeans. That means that anything that will destroy them instantly via ability, grenade, takedowns, weak spot kills, any of that stuff, echo drones, all of that will count as an obliterate. Now, if you just kill them normally and without weak spots, it's not going to necessarily count. So almost half of your kills are probably going to naturally be obliterate kills because of weak spot headshots and stuff like that. But just keep in mind you need to obliterate them and 150 of them. Now, you can use a booster, which I personally recommend, given the other studies, if you want to get those other cosmetics, but that's a different story. If you use the booster, it's going to take half as many, so 75 instead of 150, and you'll unlock it much, much faster. So, essentially, you do the Obliterate Archaeans ability, to the study, and then it'll unlock that tech. Now, let's go over to the tech, and you have the crisis mode tech that they've added over the last year. The turret came with spillover, rush pistol came with nightmare fog, and then aura grenade came with eclipse. Now you can now unlock each of these via, I think it's like 10 credits or something like that. So if you miss the event, you can get those still. Make sure to get your study done before the end of this crisis event so that you can get the repulsion harness. Now, it says, detonate a repulsion charge, knocking back or obliterating Archaeans around you. You carry 3 repulsion charges. Those can be recharged via React Tech boxes, but they do not automatically recharge themselves, as with all tech. Now, this sounds like it might be pretty useful, and I thought given what the limited time crisis event looked like, it might be pretty useful, but I personally find it to be pretty terrible. I would say it's one of the lower options. It's pretty mid. If ever you use it, it's going to be pretty bad, in my opinion. Because, essentially, and we'll show you this in the in-game footage, there's 2 things that are wrong with this. One, well, 3. Let's say 3. One, the knockback radius is very, very small, meaning everything in that radius needs to be pretty close to you in order for it to be effective. If it's right outside of that range, it's not going to do anything to them. And if anything's right next to you, you're probably doing something wrong. Now, take the After Effects limited time mode away from this because this is something that you're going to want to try to use later after that. Little bit time mode goes away. So in an event that something is that close to you, you're probably doing something wrong and you can probably just shoot it. So in that regard, it doesn't really do much. And then the other thing is that it's a very short burst duration. If they had made this a 20-second aura where things that try to run at you are knocked back, that would have been a completely different story. But it's you use it and then you lose it. So anything outside of that range within that short duration isn't going to do anything. So if it's right outside of that orb, and you'll see that in the in-game footage here in just a minute, it's going to immediately be useless because they can still run towards you. And then the other problem with this, and I don't know if this is a bug at the moment or not, but you'll also see this in the in-game footage. It says that it's supposed to obliterate them, but it just seems to knock a lot of them back. Like if we see some exploders, I've been doing some testing with it. If we see some exploders in this in-game footage, you'll see it doesn't obliterate everything, and it's supposed to obliterate everything up to lurkers, I think, is what it's supposed to do. And then essentially it doesn't do that. So what you end up with is it just knocks them back, and then you have to shoot them anyway. So to be honest, it's kind of bad to begin with, and I think it's kind of bugged at the moment. I don't think it's working as intended. So hopefully they'll change that and fix it, and if they do, I will update this video. So let's take a look at some in-game footage, but before we do, I want to make sure everybody's liking and subscribing to this video. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel because we are past that halfway monetization point. And if we get it, we will be able to make better and better content over the years. So thank you for your support. I also want to tell you I am live over on Twitch at Merkaba18. I play this game full time, and we are doing the limited time mode all week long. I am probably live right now. There are drops available. There's an Amazon Prime bundle that you can get. They went kind of all out with these cosmetics this year or on this event, so go check out the Twitch channel, Merkaba18. I hope to see you over there. All right, here we are in game with Alibi on Police Station. I want to demonstrate a few different things here with the Repulsion Harness. We have it equipped. If you can look down at the bottom right-hand side, you will notice that there are 3 charges. And you push the left D-pad on my controller, which is the PS5. That's the button I have it bound to. Depending on what you're using, PC or Xbox, it's going to be different buttons. Or I think you could even bind it to different things if you want. But let's go ahead and demonstrate. You get 3 charges, and then you can refresh it with a React Tech box, which will also give you more grenades. It does not recharge itself, so you want to keep that in mind. Now, let's show you what it kind of looks like and one of the main issues that I have with it. So we'll push that button, and then right to about there where that ADS reticle is located is about how far it will knock back or obliterate. So it's not very far away, and anything outside of that is going to be able to just be unaffected by you. So that's one of the things that I was saying, is that you could just shoot the thing if you were going to use this. Right now, in an event where you are swarmed by 50 different Archies, yeah, probably pretty useful, knocking all those guys back. But that's only going to be a short duration knockback, and you're probably doing something wrong if you have that many Archies on you in the first place. Setting aside the After Effect limited time mode, which is a whole separate thing. But here's the other issue. Let's demonstrate here. Let's see if we can find some different Archean types as we walk forward here. I also want to demonstrate to you the impact on nests, for example. So let's show you that as we move forward here. The issue with it as it currently stands is that it does not obliterate the way it says it should. I did some testing on this, and it said that it's supposed to obliterate everything up to lurkers, but it was only knocking them back as far as I could tell. Now, here let's also do some testing to see if it does it through the wall, because I actually haven't done that yet. So we're going to stand right next to this nest, and right next to this Archie, as you can see, he's right there. No impact on either the nest or the Archie on the other side. So it does not go through walls, which is a problem, obviously. And then we're going to go over, and I will show you, I think, if we can find some bloaters or such. No howl for you. So I'm not going to do it on the grunt. I want to try to find some exploders to show you why it does not work. Actually, let's do this. There's a storm spiker right there. Let's go over here, and I will demonstrate. I've had certain circumstances where it does obliterate and some where it does not. So let's see. See, as you can see, it's supposed to obliterate them. That's one of the weakest mobs you can encounter in the entire game, and it does not actually obliterate them. So I think it might be bugged, and they probably need to fix it. I also did some testing on basically everything. It doesn't obliterate it. So even if it did, I think it would be a pretty mid to low tier choice, because everything has to be pretty close to you. Now, the thing that I would think would make this infinitely better is if you had a 20-second duration to it. As you can see, it's instant, and then it goes away. If it was even 10 seconds, where you could just have this orb where anything that tried to run into you would be knocked back, I could see that being much more useful. But as it stands right now, it's just not great. And I don't think that it's an option that I would recommend to anyone. I think it's probably right above the ammo satchel in terms of usefulness. It does have a niche little cool effect, but there are much better options. I would even recommend like the rush pistol even makes you immune to damage for 20 seconds and makes you move infinitely faster. So there's no speed boost to it, none of that stuff. It's kind of weird. So that is the in-game footage. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I hope to see you over on Twitch at Merkaba18. See you again soon.